Afternoon, guys. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the Kieran Clubbing Racing Show. Looking at this weekend's racing at Sandown, Beverley, the Beverley Bullet, and Chester. The Solario Stakes being the big race at Sandown. Not much to report. Obviously, not a bad meeting at it was an okay meeting at York. We got out just about level stakes in the end. Obviously, Star of Memas was a good winner at the start of the week, but not a lot really to go with it, to be fair. And a nice winner on Monday, so we're still ticking along in the profit for the month. Hopefully we can sustain that. There's no selections today, so it's all on to the podcast for the weekend. So without further ado, we'll roll on. Just a quick bit. Thank you for all those that have now subscribed to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Those watching the videos, sharing the videos. Every little helps. I'm trying to get as much content as I can out there for you guys. And obviously with the jumps coming, there's even more content that's going to be coming. I've just been finalising the bits and pieces for stable tours and horses to follow, etc. before I did this podcast. So we roll on to Saturday's racing. The first race we're going to touch on is the 150 at Sandown. And it's the download the BetMGM app Apprentice Handicap now. Cody Lyon is in here favourite at 4-1. Can't say I'm not. Well, it's not actually an apprentice race. I'm not sure why it's an app. I think it's the actual app. But Cody Lyon's in here favourite. William Buick on board for Michael Appleby. Obviously a good second last time out. But I'm willing to take him on. I backed him actually 2 starts ago when he was 4th up at Ascot. I thought it was an okay run. But is this horse now getting, with form figures of 2-1, 4-5-2, is he just getting a bit touch and go whether he's going to get his head in front again? The one I do like, well, there's 2 actually in here. The first one I'm going to talk about is the 3-year-old at the bottom of the weights. Wadora, I think, What a D. I'll go with What a D. Of Ed Walker's for Kieran Schumacher in the saddle, 3-year-old, stepping into handicap company for the first time, 3rd on debut, then 2 wins. Obviously, unexposed 3-year-old, gets weight off of all the other horses bar 1 in here. It is the whole could be anything bracket for this horse, and I think he is only going to improve for the run. I'm sure going here. Wins at Thirsk and at Haydock the last 2 twice, so she's got plenty left in the tank, I would have thought. And with the step up, no, it's not step up, same trip, sorry, I think she will go close. But the one that I'm going to shout out at an even bigger price, and his form figures are horrific. His form figures are Duck Egg 9, Duck Egg 7. But he actually won this race last year, and it's Glenfinnan of Michael Dodds's. Connor Beasley will take the ride. Won this race last year off of a mark of 93. Now comes here off a mark of 82, obviously dropping down the weights of all them duck eggs in the form guide. But like I said, won the race last year, and there could be worse. It's currently best price 14-1. There could be worse 14-1 shots to have a swing at. So we'll have a look at the market on Saturday and make my mind up, but it's probably between the filly at the bottom, getting all the weight, the 3-year-old, or Glenfinnan in the first race, the 150 at Sandown. We then move on to the 225, the fillies and mares at Atlanta Stakes. Group 3, where the Blue Bolt is favourite here for Andrew Bowling. Colin Keane will take the ride. One is her last 3 starts, nothing wrong with that. Decent form in the book for sure. Obviously, the wins at Windsor, Newbury, and Sandown, so she's got the course and form in the book, which is obviously what you all want. There's plenty of others in here that's going to probably challenge her, to be honest. There's a couple in here that I like. The first one is Flight of Ollie Sangsters down the bottom. Obviously was 2nd in the 1,000 Guineas. Again, gets weight for age, as does the favourite actually, Blue Bolt. Being 3-year-olds, hasn't really done much since finishing 2nd in the 1,000 Guineas, 6th and then 8th in the next 2 starts. Oisin Murphy is booked for the ride, so that's a telling sign itself. And she's actually second top rated in here of 109. So taking that into account, I think she could potentially be an each way play. What is she, 8-1 in the field? But the one I really like, and it's actually Jugmont second string, and that is Skelet of Rafe Beckett. Hector Crouch will take the ride. I think she needed the run when she ran at Epsom last time over the extended mile. She just didn't get home, in all honesty, in the Group 3. Actually went off 3-1 favourite that day. And plenty would have liked that. The fact that she was favourite, she obviously clearly they thought that she was going to run big. Didn't transpire. However, she did win over course and distance at the back end of last season, beating Checkham Challenge, who is a fair yardstick, to be fair, in this sort of level, in a listed race at this course. So Skelet, who I believe is a double figure price, is 14-1 best price currently. She'd be for me especially if she comes on from that first run, which it looked like the way she ran in the race. She blew up, to be honest, coming down the straight and finished but tailed off in the end. She will come on bang to that, I'm sure, and Ray Beckett does brilliantly with his fillies, and she could understate her stablemate, same colours in it, Jugmont. So yeah, in Blue Bolt. So yeah, 14-1 Skelet would be my selection in the Atlanta Stakes. We then move on to the 3 o'clock, the bmgm.co.uk handicap, and this is a minefield of a race. It's 11-4 the field. I can't believe you're getting this short price. I know Dangerman's favourite for the Gosdens down the bottom, getting all the weight 3-year-old allowances. But let's be honest with ourselves here. I know he's one of a course and distance, and he's unexposed off 89. He could be anything after winning his last 2. But is he worthy of being 11-4 favourite? I certainly wouldn't be going anywhere near him, to be honest. From the ones at the top of the betting, I would probably favour the other one, which is, I'm going to absolutely butcher this name now as well, Sedana of Roger Varians. 3 starts this season. Son of Pinatubo, has come on, won decently at Newbury last time out in handicap. I'm sure will come on for that run, and that handicap is actually the London Gold Cup, which obviously plenty of horses have come from and won since. Obviously the 3rd were at Royal Ascot. I was on that day. The 4th one, the 5th one, the 6th one, the 7th one twice. So yeah, the strong form around the London Gold Cup, which always is, and the fact that Roger Varian's waited this long to bring him back out would suggest that this has been the plan for a while. Ray Dawson is on, and at 100-30 could be a decent bet, to be honest. The other one I would mention is next in the betting, actually. This is a bit boring that I'm mentioning the top 3 at the top of the betting. But Flying Frontier actually won this race last year, currently 7-1. Won this race last year off 2 seconds. Off a mark of 93. Now comes here off a mark of 96, so slightly higher in the weights. Potentially this could be a better race, especially with Sadar in here. And yeah, he would probably be my selection of the 2 unexposed 3-year-olds, especially with that London Gold Cup form. And then we move on to the 3:35, the Solario Stakes, the big race on the card, where Publish is even my favourite now. This is quite obvious why this is favourite. It's John and Thady Gosden, Colin Keane rides. One of a course and distance last time. The second has come out and won since. A very, very short odds up at Yarmouth. I think it's like 1-14 or something stupid. But this could be the same stepping. So like they won this race last year with Fields Gold. Obviously, we all know what he's gone on to do since. Could this horse potentially be down that line and be their Guineas horse for next year? All would suggest so, considering he's so short in the market, even money for this race. I'm not going to give up on Humidity. Now, I was on Humility in the race at Ascot. The name escapes me now what the name of the race it was that he won at Ascot. 2 seconds. The Chesham that he won at Ascot. Now the form's not working out too well, and then he went to Goodwood last time out and completely blew out, finishing 7th. A bit disappointing, but didn't really get the run of the race, should I say. Goodwood doesn't tend to suit everybody. I'm going to give him one more chance here, and the fact that he, off the back of one bad run, is 10-1. Obviously, Oshie Murphy will take the ride, as James Doyle is currently is on the sidelines. That's no bad number that Murphy's in the saddle. I think at 10-1 is just far too big, and I'm going to probably take a swing on him at 10-1. But like I said, the Gosden horse could be anything, could be their Guinness horse for next year, and I could have serious egg on my face as he wins by 3 or 4 lengths. We'll then go over to Beverley. We've got 2 races to cover from Beverley. The first one being the Silver Cup, the 130, the Silver Cup Handicap, where Crown of Oaks is 6-4 favourite in here for Haggis. Lavs are winning last time out over the distance. Unexposed 3-year-old Hole could be anything. She only had the 4 runs. Coming on nicely 3-3-1 this season. But the one I like in here, and I can't believe looking at the betting, is Richard Fahey's Glistening Knights, who is currently 10-1 in the betting. Now the reason I like this horse is he's got course and distance form, which is always a big plus, especially around Beverley. Could be because where is it? This time last year, won handicap, okay, a class 5 handicap off of 69, and then off of the mark of 72 was second in this race last year, and now he comes into this off 76, so slightly higher in the weights because of the unexposed ones. Obviously that's why you're getting the bigger price. You've obviously got one of Side Bints Rawls in here as well, who's second favourite. A 3-year-old that could be anything, but I'm going to wish him to take a chance with this Knight of Thunder gelding that has obviously run in the race before, has decent form around Beverley, and that's Glistening Knights for Richard Fahey to go 1 better in this race than he did last year when finishing second. And currently best price at 10-1 is not a bad play either. And then the other race we're going to cover is the Beverley Bullet, the Class 1 listed race, where Regional is all the rage at 13-8 favourite. Now I can see why has run really well this consistently this year without actually winning. Third, 4th. Now all in decent events. Obviously 3rd at Royal Ascot and the King Charles VII behind American Affair. That forms all seems to be working out okay. Then dropped down to Group 3 company and was 3rd behind Rage of Bambi. Now, they went on 3-1 favourite that day. I'm just wondering whether this horse, Regional, potentially... not sure whether the ground's not soft enough. And I know we're not expecting much rain the next few days either. I know they keep saying that we're going to get rain. It's a bit cloudy outside as we speak now, but there's nothing actually transpiring. He then went over to Deauville and was 4th in a Group 1 over Deauville. But I think this horse could be the Nearly horse. And I know they've dropped to listed level. Potentially it's a good move. Potentially it's got a chance of winning here. But the one, I've gone down the list, and there is one here that I'm going to take a swing on. And he's currently best price. She, I believe, is she? Yep, is a mare. She is best price 12-1. Now, it will be her first start of the season, but it's Star of Lady M. Now, this horse, from David O'Meara and Mark Wynn will be in the saddle, has done nothing wrong. Has got course form. But the only issue is haven't been seen since October, so I'm not sure whether there's been issues or anything like that. But good form in the book. Like last season, she won at Newmarket. She won at York, Class 2 at York at the back end in August last year. She won a listed event up at Ayr at the end of the last season, beating Rage of Bambi. Obviously, I mentioned Rage of Bambi beat Regional a couple of starts ago. So there's form lines through that. And I just think Star Lady M, I know it's first start of the season, but I think she's got decent form in the book, and the fact that she's 12 to 1, I think she could outrun her odds for sure. I might be completely wrong, and this might be a pipe opener to something else, but at 12 to 1, I can't let it go. And then we got 2 races to cover over at Chester, the first being the 240, which is the Chester Stakes, the listed race over 1 mile 6. Now, Hamish was meant to run in this, has not been declared due to the ground, so obviously they're considering they're not going to get enough rain up north. So Table Talk is favourite here at 15 to 8 for Tom Clover and Jack Mitchell. Is that okay form in the book? 2-2-6-3. Nothing to complain about that. This season, obviously finished last time in a Group 3 behind Al Kareem. Was 6th in the Hardwick Stakes at Royal Ascot behind Rebel Romance. So plenty of decent form in the book for Table Talk. But the one I like in here, and I actually put him up last time he ran, and that's Alcer Cab of Andrew Boldins. PJ McDonald will be in the saddle. I put him up at York last time when he ran in behind Al Kareem, but he just completely blew the start, completely missed the start in the listed race there. That was in the Ebor Grand Cup Stakes. Completely missed the start, slowly away, held up in rear, and then just lost all chance. Was beaten 32, was literally beaten at the gate. Didn't run his race at all. James Doyle wasn't hard, and he actually went off 100 to 30 that day. Second favourite. Al Caribus was third in that race. He's gone on one at Newmarket and then over in America since. Obviously, Al Kareem's gone on one since. And Absurd's finished third in a Group 3 over at the Curragh. So this Alcer Cab, if back to form, I think will take a hell of a beating in this race. And currently looking at the prices, like he's 4 to 1. You can get best price 4 to 1. He's 11 to 4 in a place. Bet365 standing big, currently at 4 to 1. But yeah, any sort of price around 11 to 4, 3 to 1. We're certainly having a wager on Alcer Cab at the 240 at Chester. And the final race we're going to touch on is the 315, the Safer Gambling Handicap, and there's two top of the betting. Well, there is no betting currently. There's 2 horses I really like in here, and I'm going to be tossing and turning between which one I'm actually going to pull out. The first one is Too Tempting, who won for me at the Chester meeting, the Chester Cup meeting in May. Hasn't done a lot since. 8 is Duck Egg 8-9, but is still well handicapped and back into this race. Could go close for Johnny Portman, although he has been drawn 10, so he's out in the car park. But that goes the same for my other one that I'm having a look at, and that's George Bowie's El Bohan, who's very likely raced 3-year-old New Bay Colt, New Bay Gelding, sorry, they've gelded him since. His disappointing run 2 starts last time out at Royal Ascot, hasn't been seen since then. But he's also out in the car park, but he's likely to be held up anyway, so I wouldn't be too fussed about his draw. He's more the one I'm siding towards. We'll see how the market opens up. And potentially we're going to back in here. Hawksbill's in here as well. I know a few people that have fans of this horse. Obviously, I put him up at Royal Ascot, I think it was. Well, no, it wasn't Royal Ascot. It was 2 starts ago. It was Ascot. It wasn't Royal Ascot. It was Ascot itself. It was 2 starts ago. 9th was second, obviously beaten at Haydock last time out. So yeah, there's a fair few in here that have got decent form. But yeah, it would be probably between Too Tempting and Al Buran if I was going to have a bet in this race. But now, so that is that. Best bets for Saturday. Currently, I'm going to side with 2 seconds. I really like the look of Sat Arda in the 3 o'clock, the handicap at at Sandown. Obviously, the London Gold Cup form is very strong form. And then the other one is at Beverley. And it is... can't remember off the top of my head what I said now. Oh, that's it, yeah. Glistening Knights is the other one. I just think he's overpriced in a race that he finished second in last year and potentially could go close here. And obviously Al Sakib in the race at Chester's first race. We're covering the long distance handicap listed race. So I think he's got a big chance as well. Probably Al Sakib will probably be my nap of the weekend, to be honest. Hopefully we get a decent price about him. Thanks again for listening, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video. As I said, we'll be back with plenty more jumps racing content. I know people don't want to keep talking about the jumps because it's not still in the flat season, but I can't wait for the jumps. 5 weeks away now, not long. Thanks for listening. If you can like and subscribe to the video, that'd be great. Comment what your best bet of the weekend is. If you want to get involved in my naps competition, simply come and join my Telegram. Drop me a DM what you think what your nap is for the ITV races, the races that I've just covered. And if your nap lands, and the biggest SP will win a £5 free bet, courtesy of myself. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and happy punting to you all.